We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with genuine complete rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. It is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live right from my bunkerized home studio somewhere in the great granite state of New Hampshire. So this is a test show for the Rod Eccles Show here on the CB Media Network. And so we're going to try to get through all of this stuff and try to figure out exactly how all this works over here. There is not a call-in number this evening, unfortunately. I had a little trouble getting my pewter to cooperate. I'm guessing my computer is probably an Obama computer. I'm not kidding, because anytime I want to do something that is real, it always seems that it wants to give me fits and troubles. And, well, that's just, look, that's the way Obama goes, right? You know, he tries to put out stuff out there. It doesn't work. And so what happens? So what happens when everything doesn't work when it's Obama? It just doesn't work. But it costs an awful lot. An awful lot. You know, we got taxes going through the roof, and we have people out there that seem to think that we ought to give people more who do not contribute. Who do not contribute. I don't know why. Are we supposed to just now? You heard Obama. Not too long ago when he was giving a speech, he said he let it slip that people should have, a fair shot and a fair share. Well, you can't have both. And who's to say what is a fair share? Who's to say what a fair share is? Are you going to decide what somebody else's fair share is? Who are you, Mr. Liberal? Mr. Liberal Socialist, to decide what somebody's fair share is? There is no such thing as a fair share. There is such a thing as a fair shot, meaning that everybody does have to play by the same rules. Yes. But it doesn't mean those rules have to be so burdensome that nobody can play. This is what we get from you leftists. I've already said on Facebook that I was going to stop calling you Democrats and liberals. What you are is socialists. You're the Democratic Socialist Party of the United States. You're a liberal socialist, plain and simple. How can you possibly tell me? You can't. There is no such thing as a fair shot or a fair shake. There isn't one. I mean, this whole notion that we all deserve a fair shake or a fair share of whose work? I have utilized this this scenario often. Often. I have said that if you were going to, want a fair share, and let's just say somebody, you, just think about this for a second. You came up with an application, a phone app. I mean, everybody can relate to phone apps because there's a phone app for just about everything now. There are phone apps out there to help you cheat. Yes, indeed. You can cheat on your significant other with a phone app. There are a number of different phone apps, but one I saw on Shark Tank. And basically what it does is if you download the app, it hides the phone numbers of your mistress or mister. So your phone may buzz or ring, but it doesn't let the number show, or it goes into voicemail for later. So you can check it later. So if you're sitting there with your main squeeze and your secret love decides to give you a buzz, because that's how people get caught. You always see in the movies how women, they pick up the phone, and the husband's mistress is on the other line and she hangs up. Well, that's how they get caught. Well, not anymore. Not with the phone app. With this phone app, all you do is you enter the phone number that you want to disguise or hide. The call still goes through, but it's hidden from view, and only you will be able to punch it up later and see if your mistress or mister gave you a call. So you come up with this cheater app. This is you. You have designed it. You have developed it. You spent your time. You probably didn't spend a whole heck of a lot of money because, it's online and it's computers and stuff. So you had to spend an awful lot of time to write the code, to develop it, make it look good. And then you had to make sure that it complied with the, Android and Apple application stores. So you had to make sure that it was, fit and that they would approve it. And they approve it. So because you worked on it, you probably spent months on it, hours and hours. Because these applications, they just don't pop out of thin air, and somebody doesn't sit down in 2 hours and pop out an application. It doesn't work that way. It's hours and hours. So you spend all this time, you spend all these hours and hours on this application. Then you get it approved to be sold to the public. Now you decide you want to give everybody a fair shot of having this application. So you want to make it affordable that anybody, in any sapsucker can afford. So you're going to charge $1. Just $1 for one download. So somebody has a phone, they press on the app, yeah, I want this app, I'm going to buy it. Nobody's forcing them to do it. Nobody's forcing them at all. But this person decides, that'd be a cool app. Maybe they're not even cheating yet. Maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe they just saw, I don't know. Well, they just saw some sweet brown sugar walking down the street and thought, oh, hey, that's better than my old lady at home. Or some woman's, just decides that Chippendale wannabe, she want to be in bed with that. So whatever reason, I don't care if the reasons are pure or not. Doesn't matter. They all go on to this app, to the App Store. They find this app. It says it's $1 for the download. Nobody's twisting their arm. They say, yeah, okay, I agree. I'm going to give them $1. $1. $1. Now, let's just say that this person who developed the app, he gets the whole dollar. He doesn't have to pay anybody for putting, the Apple isn't going to get their cut, or Android isn't going to get nobody else is going to get a cut. He's going to get the full 100% of that dollar. So he's going to get $1. So, nobody else wants a cut yet. Nobody else wants a cut in order to bring you that application. So you have the application. You develop the application. Nobody else wants a cut of your profit. So you go ahead and you put it on the store. It gets accepted. Somebody goes to the Apple store or, to the App Store, one of the app stores. They see your application. They agree to give you $1 in order to download that application on their phone. They do so, and it's over. Transaction's over. The customer's happy. It does exactly what they want it to do. They are thrilled. You got a happy customer. Now, let's just say that happens 1 million times in a 12-month period. 1 year. January 1st to December 31st. 1 million people willingly, freely give you that $1. You now, and nobody else is taking a cut, you now have $1 million. You spent, 3 months spending hours per day, 4 hours a day after work, before work, during your lunch break. You spent hours and hours and hours developing this app. Took you 3 or 4 months to develop it. Took you another month or two to get it approved, to meet the specifications in order to get it approved to put on in the app stores. So you got it online. You spent all that time. You spent your own money, for your computer and stuff like that. And you spent your money to copyright it and trademark it so nobody else could steal it. And you sold 1 million at $1 each. Now you have $1 million. You want to tell me that you think that your friend Charlie down the street, who hasn't worked a day in his life, and he is now 50 years old, and you think that you should give up some of your money via the government so he can get a free phone, so he can then go to the App Store and pay you $1? Is that fair? Who's it fair to? It's not fair to you. You spent all that time developing it. You spent all that time marketing it. You spent all that, the time doing whatever you had to do in order to make this thing a success. And now it's a success, and somebody tells you, well, you don't deserve that. You didn't make that. You didn't build that. You need to give somebody else their fair share of that. Think about it. You are now going to have to pay somebody who isn't contributing to society so they can then turn around, take your money, and then buy your products and services. That's the way am I, I must be losing my mind. But we're supposed to think that this is the way that we're supposed to go with this stuff?
You can't fix stupid.
This is what everybody thinks. Well, at least all you socialist liberals. That's not the way things work. That's not the way things are supposed to be. I don't know how else to tell you, but that's just not the way it is. And it's not fair. There is no